72 different options.
Check connection. I wouldn't know when I'm live there. It's this way.
Well, if it says it there.
I'm a trusting soul.
You, hi dogs. Oh, hi dogs. Hello, friends.
Good afternoon. Good day.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night to
Right.
you.
You know who gives me hope?
Who gives you hope?
We saw our friend Paul Dooley yesterday.
Yes, I didn't even get to talk to you about it yet.
He's 97.
He's amazing.
He doesn't go around saying, "Hi, I'm 97,"
Yeah.
but he is. And he's married to Winnie Holtzman, who is younger than he is. But as George Burns used to say, everybody's younger.
Everybody is. There you go.
And Paul would like that because he is a master student of vaudeville.
Yes. We actually had Paul and Winnie on together on our podcast a few years ago,
and that's
which I loved.
Posted.
Yeah, that's it. And you can still listen to it. Yeah. That was really fun having the two of them together because they're so interesting. They're both so interesting.
If the name Winnie Holtzman rings any kind of bell,
or if it doesn't,
she wrote. Excuse me, I have to call out to my granddaughter, Daisy.
She's got her headphones on. There. She's got her headphones on. That's no use.
She was climbing on those shelves.
Oh, that's good. That's safe. So Winnie
wrote the book for the musical Wicked.
Yeah. Winnie's doing well in life, guys. She wrote that. She also, if you're closer to my age, she wrote My So-Called Life. That was one of the first really big hits for her, and is something that, again, depending on where you are generationally, means a hell of a lot. Yes, exactly. Lottie says My So-Called Life. That's it, right? My So-Called Life, that was such an important show for all of us who watched it. She also did a show just a few years ago that I don't think got nearly enough attention. And it's called Roadies. I loved that show. I thought that was a wonderful show. It only got one season. It definitely deserved more than that. But I loved it. I absolutely love that show. And I love her. So are they well?
They are well.
They are well. Excellent.
We had a lovely time with them.
Good. If you're ever wondering, by the way, if you don't know why I'm looking down when we start, it's to make sure that all of the various platforms we are on are working, to make sure everything is pinned where it's supposed to be. So yeah. Oh, Lottie, Roadies is so good. It's so good. And it's got a really great cast, including Imogen Poots, who I adore. It's also got MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, in a role that, if you're not familiar with him, and I wasn't at the time because he's a rapper. Now he kind of he's genre bending, but he's a rapper, and it's really neat to see sort of, when you're introduced to people at different points of their careers. I didn't know he was a rapper. I thought he was an actor who was also a musician, which he is, but quite different to how some people know him when he was heavily in rap. Always interesting. Today, when we're done, Daisy and I are going to go visit her daddy at work. Why? Because we never, ever know what Scott is going to be doing. My husband does light bulbs for a living. When he's from England, if you don't know, my husband's from England. I see your baby hornicorn. He's from Manchester, England. We met in the UK. We've known each other forever. And what he used to do in the UK was he toured with shows. He worked for a really big production company there, and he toured all over the UK with different shows.
For a producer named Bill Kenwright.
Yeah, for Kenwright. Others as well, but Kenwright was the big one. And when he came here, we were sort of trying to figure out what he was going to do here. He toured a bit with a couple of different groups, including some kids groups, which was wild. But now that he tries to stay home more so he's not away from Daisy, he works for a company that just does lights for any and everything.
Right. Trade shows, bar mitzvahs,
weddings, whatever you can think of.
Yeah.
So,
but
his company also has the contract with the Academy Museum. So they do all the stuff at the Academy Museum. They also work with a space called Naya, and that's where he is today. And it is basically just a venue. So again, it can be anything. What's in there right now? McDonald's has a tie-in with this K-pop group called BTS, who are very popular. The current toys you get from McDonald's are members of BTS. Because which child wouldn't want that? And so they've created this whole McDonald's world at the studio. And there's pictures you can take and you can play and make art and all that. So that is where we are going when we're done. But yeah, when your husband comes home,
I will not be joining.
You will not. But when your husband comes home and goes, so it's this McDonald's thing with a K-pop band. And we're like, yeah, great. Yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's do it. Ricky, we would love to interview Dick Van Dyke. He doesn't often do interviews anymore, and we've tried for years. But his wife is his lead protector of all things, and she's just very, very particular about his time, which is fair. Hi, CJ. Manchester, England, across the Atlantic Sea. Correct. That is the song that comes to mind. Yes, indeed. The fact that my child does not have his accent, I find deeply, deeply disappointing. But such is life. No, because you're naked. And we don't go onto the internet naked. My child hates clothes, which is fine because she's home. But then when it comes to things like she wants to say hello or open the front door. No. If you want to say hi, you have to put clothes on. These are the rules. She's losing her. And we got dogs and babies. We got everything in this house. Yes, one of the dogs. Yeah. Mabel just walked behind me. Logan is singing his Awoo song, walking in circles. Anyway, you have 2 new movie reviews up right now. One is for the battle. What's it called? One battle after another. Which, if you haven't seen the press and marketing for this movie, they have got Paul Thomas Anderson and Leonardo DiCaprio doing TikToks.
Oh my.
Never in my life.
I saw Paul with...
Never in my life.
I saw Paul with Ben Mankiewicz on TCM last night.
Oh, yeah?
He programmed...
Monkey, you said if you were going to stay down here, we were going to be quiet.
He programmed 2 of
So if you want to yell and scream, you can go up to him, okay? That's fine. Toddlers, am I right?
Just off camera, my 3.5-year-old granddaughter, her daughter.
4 at the end of October, which doesn't seem real. Yes. No, Mabel is not named after Mabel Norman. It is just a name that we liked. Logan came with the name Logan, and we call him the little bear, and it's the name he had, so we stuck with it. To say hi, you have to put clothes on. Does this rule apply to your YouTube audience too? Yes, ideally. No, look, you know what? If you're in your own home, you can be as naked as you want. Eric says he has a 3-nager at home as well. 3-nagers are something else, Eric. They are another breed.
I never heard that term.
Woof. It is. Oh, yes, you have. I say it all the time. And then every time I say it, you go, I've never heard that term.
Okay.
Things are going well here. They're going well. Okay. Anyway, you have 2 movie reviews up. One is for the Battle that Battled, and the other is The Long Walk.
Yeah, which we talked about here.
Yes,
before.
so those 2 reviews are up and if you're interested.
I have to say, interest in One Battle After Another is keen because we got a record-breaking number of hits over the weekend, and I'm very glad, because I don't get to review as much as I'd like.
Yeah.
And
hi, Logan.
But I saw this one 2 weeks ago at Warner Brothers. In fact, I saw it in VistaVision.
Yeah.
They shot it in VistaVision, and they made 4 VistaVision prints. And VistaVision, if you haven't heard me prattle on about this before, has gone dormant since 1961, except for being used to shoot visual effects. But for shooting a movie, it was not in use until Brady Corbet made The Brutalist last year. And now Paul Thomas Anderson, who likes 70 millimeter too, his last 2 films, he released The Master in 70 millimeter and
Mhm.
Licorice Pizza. So he's into widescreen. He's into
The dog just turned the
technology and all
TV
that
on.
stuff.
The dog just turned the. My parents can't turn this TV on if they wanted to, and the dog just turned it on. Yes, Logan has no clothes on. Listen, Larry, we can get technical with this, okay? I only have one real rule for Daisy in terms of her presence on the interwebs and photos and what have you, and that's that she will not be photographed naked and she won't be online naked. Why? People are weird and crazy. So anything else is fine, but I just try to keep her clothed to the public. Outside of that, she's naked most of the time. P.S. You haven't lived until you've had multiple toddlers running around naked thinking it's the funniest thing in the world, because it happened at school the other day.
Oh, no.
2 boys had to change because they got all wet from playing. They had a water table out. And both thought it was the funniest thing in the world to get naked and run around the room as all the parents are trying to calmly and politely be like, guys, we got to put your clothes back. It's fine. Just be naked. It's fine. I'm trying to think, what did you?
Yes, VistaVision was developed by Paramount in 1954 as their entry in the enhanced movie-going experience sweepstakes. Fox had CinemaScope and Stereophonic Sound, which they licensed to Warner Brothers and MGM and other studios. And RKO had Superscope, which was the widest of them all, I think. There was Technorama.
That's one hell of a thing. It's the widest of them all.
Yeah. The ratio was like 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Almost nobody could show it. No one had a screen that big.
Well, on the first time that we saw 70 millimeter film, I was pretty blown away. And then seeing all the different sort of, whether it's IMAX or 3, it's a trip to look at them. And also to think about how the hell someone figured it out.
Well,
this will never, I know that science exists, but I claim most of it is just witchcraft. Because, man, you look around and it is incredible to think of what they have made, created, figured out how to capture. I'm knocked out by it. You know, now we have so much technology. You can do things on your phone, but when you couldn't, the idea that somebody said, okay, so we're going to make this the biggest physical film you've ever seen in your life.
Well, but VistaVision does not mean widescreen.
Yeah.
That confuses some people.
I'm just saying in general, it's the idea that someone looked at this and thought, I have an idea.
But it does anticipate IMAX because it's a horizontal image. And that's how it's shot, and that's how it's projected. And so I've seen, and actually most VistaVision films were then reduced to 35 millimeter for general release. But still, with that big image, the larger, it's true with photography too. The larger your negative, the more information it takes in.
Yeah.
It's clearer, it's sharper, color is brighter, more vivid. So it's a great capture medium. And but this past year at the TCM Classic Film Festival, I got to see what I thought I never would have a chance to see.
Yep.
A projector projecting a film horizontally. What? Yes. I saw it happen. And then I saw it again at Warner Brothers last week.
D23 fan, you are at the Academy Museum all the time. You get to see a lot of good stuff. They're at the Academy now to see all about even 35 millimeter film. Always a good time. Thankfully, the majority of the screenings at the Academy Museum are affordable. And I'm grateful for that, because it was always affordable at the actual, on Wilshire, their location, where it's been their home forever.
The Samuel Goldwyn Theater.
You know, they always made sure that things were affordable so people could go. And I'm really glad that for the most part, their events have stayed that way. Because how wonderful to get to see that in person. You know, how wonderful to get to experience these things in person. Ken, you've asked a question, my friend. He says, any favorites of Benchley for you? Let me tell you about my dad and Robert Benchley. If anyone had a fan, it's him. The rest of us, him, live and die.
Your mother is also a fan.
Yeah, I know she's a fan. No one loves it the way you do. I don't think anyone loves it the way he does. He every year he shows to his class the
sex life of the polyp.
The sex life of the polyp. He shows to his students every year.
Robert Benchley was a charter member of the Algonquin Round Table.
Obviously.
In the 1920s, and an original contributor to the New Yorker magazine, which is now 100 years old this year. And so he hung out. That's a terrible phrase to use. He spent quality time, shall we say, with the likes of Dorothy Parker and Alexander Woolcott and the other literati who gathered there. And Benchley started at the New Yorker as their theater critic. And there's a compilation, there's an anthology of his theater reviews. And the funniest one is that a play called Abe's Irish Rose opened on Broadway in the mid-20s. And it's about a culture clash between an Irish family and a Jewish family when their offspring decide to get married. And he had to write a little, like, one-line blurb about it every week for like 4 years. It wouldn't stop. It ran and ran and ran on Broadway. So he started writing non sequiturs, things that had nothing to do with the play, and that's when that's when people said, maybe you should be doing more humor writing. I think that was that's my theory. That was the genesis of it. But Benchley also became a very skillful character actor in Hollywood. He's wonderful in Foreign Correspondent, Hitchcock's Foreign Correspondent. He even gets a screenplay credit, a co-screenplay credit on that film. So he was much admired.
So what are your favorite Benchleys?
My favorite essay of his is How I Get Things Done. I think that's the title of it, which goes on the theory that you can get anything done as long as it's not what you're supposed to be getting done at that time. So it's like if you schedule a haircut and you're trying to build a shelf, a bookshelf, it gets very intricate.
One of those will happen and one of them will not. Yeah.
His grandson was Peter Benchley, who wrote Jaws, which has been much in the news lately.
It all comes together, doesn't it? Film Trip is saying Eddington and One Battle After Another felt like they would have been terrific with a better editor. They looked amazing, but were both way too long. Well, if you've been around the Maltins for a long time, you'll know that we think most things are too long.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. So one of my best friends and I were just talking yesterday, and we talk everything we watch. We both watch a lot of the online streaming stuff. And
they're confidants.
Yes, we are discussing all the time, and it's always interesting to hear what he thinks, what he likes, what he doesn't like, and me. So I am a binger. I tend to watch, if there are 8 episodes, I will usually try to watch all 8 pretty close together. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think for me, I just want to know where the hell it's going. And I have now been, unfortunately, disappointed over and over and over again, which we've all discussed a little bit. But I keep watching these shows that are great for 2, maybe 3 episodes, and then they can't maintain. And what we were talking about yesterday, he and I, was that part of why the the short series, 4-episode series, Adolescence, works as well as it does is that it's 4 episodes.
Yeah.
That's a fun sound. Leave them wanting more. And many British shows, this is a very common thing for British shows. They do a finite number, and then sometimes they'll come back and do a reunion episode. Yeah. If you watched Gavin and Stacey, they've done a bunch of reunion episodes over the years. But the idea is that it needs to be for a reason. Yes, this binger of disappointment. That's right, Joshy, exactly. I've watched so much recently because a whole bunch of new stuff just came out. I watched Black Rabbit, which is Jude Law and Jason Bateman. And for a bit, I thought it was really, really good. And then it keeps going. Yesterday I binged all of the new show, the again limited series Wayward, which is Toni Collette. This is written, created by and written by Mae Martin, and I like them in general. But again, the series it's so interesting for a bit, but then it keeps going, and so that's why I say, to me, with Adolescence, 4 episodes meant that you never felt like it kept going, because it ended when it felt like it needed to end. And I can't count how many times you've watched movies lately, but in general, where you go, oh, this was so good. And then it kept going.
Somebody pointed out to me, and it's a very astute observation, that if it's true, and it is, that the studios have had a laissez-faire attitude toward directors turning in long movies.
Yeah.
The streamers are happy to have
as
the
much
time
as they
taken
can.
up.
Yeah, they need it. It's content.
It's content,
and they need it.
So they have no objection to long movies. Quite the opposite.
I had never seen The Summer I Turned Pretty, and
Daisy, Daisy, walk away.
I was just looking at that.
Thank you.
So, England. Where are we? Who am I? What are we doing?
You're binging new shows.
Yes, but there was something that we watched. I don't remember anymore.
We watched 2 episodes of Tulsa King last night.
Oh, did you, Anne?
Yeah. Well, it's fun. It's it's not.
Yeah.
It's very undemanding.
Yeah.
It's not exactly breaking new territory.
Yeah.
It's Stallone. Would in character admits to being 75. He's actually 79. But he's still got
it down a little.
He still has that something, he's got that charisma.
Yeah. Well, the other tricky thing. So then I started House of Guinness.
I want to see that.
And so I started it. Thank you. Summer I Turned Pretty. Thanks, Amber. That real quick. Summer I Turned Pretty. I'd never seen it before. I'd finished a bunch of other shows. And then again, my friend Josh, I said, he mentioned, oh, there's a new season and I'm gonna start watching it. And I said, should I watch the show? He's like, yeah, it's fluffy. It's nothing. It's great because it's exactly that. So I watched it and then caught up to the new season and then have just watched the new and final season. It was, I'm going to say that this season was maybe 80 episodes long is what it felt like. Maybe it was actually 12. Felt like 107. They were stretching it for dear life. And as the episodes went on, people watching were getting angrier and angrier about it. And looking at things online was hilarious because people were just pissed at how much they were as far as they possibly could. And you go, why? Like, why? Because whatever.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, I get that you probably had agreed to 12 more episodes. And so you made 12 more episodes. But Jesus, by the time you get to the end of it, it felt like a marathon and not a fun one. By the time you get to the end, you're not even excited it's the end. You're more just like, oh, it's finally over.
Well, that is not true of One Battle After Another.
Yes, which
2 hours and 40 minutes go by and you almost don't know that much time has elapsed.
Exactly. Josh says we aged 10 years and then we were told we get a movie. Exactly. They made this whole thing about it's finally over. This is the end. Just kidding. We're going to make a movie. No one needs it. Not a living soul. And so I started House of Guinness last night. First thing that happened that I was very aware of is they're using modern music. And they're using Irish modern music. So you have that kind of a tone to it, which is fun, but also tricky because so many shows are doing it now that it can feel more distracting than it just fits. I'm also watching this new series, a spinoff to Outlander, Blood of My Blood, which is stays in period. I think it's a really, really good show. Everything about it is it's done really, really, really well. I'm thrilled they didn't use modern music in that. Not that they would, but it does take you out. So here you're watching, Guinness, and they're playing that kind of music, and you're going, okay, so we're not really a period piece. We're just like kind of a period, but not. And it just gets used so often now that to me it just kind of lost the fun.
Right.
That we're using
that's
modern
a series
music.
written by Stephen Knight, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's the way they've been advertising it. Is Peaky Blinders, Peaky Blinders, Peaky Blinders. Here's an Irish one.
Daisy.
Sorry.
Necessary. Sorry.
Just losing her beautiful tiny mind. Just don't look. It's better if you don't look.
It is better.
It's better if you don't look. Just don't look at it.
Okay. Okay.
Just don't look. Just don't look.
Okay.
Pretend she's not even there. It's fine.
Okay.
Peaky Blinders.
Things. Well, Peaky Blinders is one of his primary credits, but he's an incredibly prolific writer for television and for feature films. He made a film called Dirty Pretty Things.
So good.
That's really
so good.
It's so original.
It's so tough, but it's so
tough movie, but awfully good. And when I see his name on something, I pay attention.
Yeah. Sorry. Go for it, Days. Ken is saying, what did you think of Sean Penn's character in One Battle After Another? Too over the top for me, became a cartoon character by the end. Which is interesting because in your review, you say it's one of the best roles he's had in a while. So you didn't feel that.
No, it was deliberate that his exaggerated characteristics, I think, were all carefully calculated. You don't feel that they're calculated, but they were part and parcel of who that guy is.
Yeah.
And I accepted it.
Yes. Regina's saying that Stephen Knight also did a very polarizing adaptation of A Christmas Carol with Guy Pearce as Scrooge. Yeah.
Listen, I don't love everything he does.
No, but
but the nice thing about him being prolific is.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's not. Days, can you go up to Hamma? We have a half an hour left. Why don't we maybe go up to Hamma? Yeah? Before we burn the house to the ground? I love you. Bye. She just threw a ball. It wasn't going to end well. Anyway. No, we're not going to like everything anybody does, but I think that it's nice. It's nice when you sort of get to a point where when you see someone's name, you go, well, this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like it, it should be interesting. Did you ever interview Mel Brooks? Yeah. Yeah, we had him on our show. My dad's interviewed him for a bunch of different things over the years. And then we interviewed him for our show, and he was fantastic. He was fantastic. Alan's asking about the morning show and Only Murders in the Building. I think I have not watched the most recent morning show. I thought when that show started, it was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I thought it was an absolute knockout.
Getting a little soapy.
It's kind of, that's it, like all these, right? See, again, like maybe the morning show should have only been 2 seasons or 3 seasons. Maybe it didn't need to keep going. Only Murders in the Building, I can't watch because Selena Gomez annoys the crap out of me. And as soon as I hear her speaking, I'm just annoyed by her. But my mom watches it. Do you watch it too?
Yeah, I watched it with her.
Yeah. So do you like both of those?
Yeah, I do. Only Murders in the Building is a very self-indulgent show.
Yeah.
But they make no bones about it.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly I like what they do.
Yeah.
And
well, that Carol's saying, or 1 season. That's what I mean, though. It's really tough. When you have a success, people want to keep it going. And that makes sense.
Sure.
But not everything should keep going. You know?
On its 50th anniversary, there were a number of articles about faulty towers.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 12 episodes.
Yeah. And so good. You see Logan in the background. Not right now. There's no dog. There's no dog near us at the moment. They're in front of us. 1 second. I want to go back. 1 second. Yeah, she started on Barney. Thank you, Selena Gomez. Her voice just makes me insane. It really does. I say that as a person who also has lupus, because the complaint is that you're not allowed to criticize her voice because they say it's because of her lupus. It's not. You've heard how she used to speak. Now she's just gotten to this point where she barely opens her mouth. She can open her mouth. She just, for God knows what reason, has started speaking in this way that makes me want to punch something. So I can't do it anymore. Deborah, our beloved Deborah Cutler, has 2 questions. The first is, who was your most difficult interview and why? And who was surprisingly the easiest interview? I'm going to say a name that you're not supposed to talk about anymore because of all the trouble he got into, but Armie Hammer was one of the best interview guests we've ever had, because it was completely, we had no idea what to expect. This handsome, tall, broad-shouldered gentleman, he was a gentleman, walked into the room, great outfit, smelled magical, and he was so charismatic.
He sure was.
He was,
that was at
so
the
Savannah.
SCAD
Savannah Film Festival.
Yeah.
He was just absolutely incredible. And when he left, we both went, oh my God, that's a movie star. Like, that's a movie star. He's amazing, which is why all of the hell that has happened since is particularly disappointing. But yeah, I'd say he was one that was surprising because we just had no, what's up? Yes. What's wrong? What? I'll be right back. And I'd say the most difficult is the one that we never got to post.
Oh gosh. We did an interview with a British actor of some renown, who made his directorial debut with a film, a very modest film with good credentials, good background, good pedigree, and it opened without fanfare and needed some attention, needed some help. So the publicist called and said, could you guys possibly interview him? And
we said, yeah, of course.
We said, sure.
We're fans. Let's do it.
Yes. And
then it was the worst interview of our lives.
They set it up for us at their the PR company's headquarters at Sunset and Vine in Hollywood. And it was so appalling that we had to deep six it. It was, I don't want to go on. It was
bad. It was really, really bad.
Really.
And it's
really
the only episode that we have never aired for all the ones we've done. The other tricky ones, and again, we won't say names, but some people are just not good talkers. And so we've had on more than one occasion, somebody came and they just didn't really, some people are not conversational in the way that they speak. They kind of answer the question and then there's silence. And so if you say, what's your favorite color? Blue. That's it. Whereas someone else might answer, oh, well, it's so hard to choose a favorite color, but I guess it's probably blue. What's yours? What's your favorite color? I mean, mine changes all the time. It can just be very different. So we've had on more than one occasion somebody who just doesn't really talk a whole lot.
When I showed One Battle After Another to my class Thursday night, my guest was Sarah Murphy, who has become Paul Thomas Anderson's producer. She worked on Licorice Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
She met him earlier. She was a personal assistant to Philip Seymour Hoffman some years ago. And he made 5 films with Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
And so she, was he was aware of her.
Yeah.
And he sort of promoted her to producer. She said, I don't know how to produce. He said, you'll learn.
Yeah.
And she was a wonderful guest because she's very...
you said she was very candid.
Yeah, very candid and very unimpressed with herself.
Mm-hmm.
She admits that one of the problems that she had on this movie was she'd never done this before. She'd never done that before.
Yeah.
But she realized she's surrounded by people who can answer those questions, who have had those experiences.
Yeah.
And they're all willing if not eager, to help to make a better movie, and that's what they did.
Mm.
So she was an unknown quantity who came through big time.
Yeah. Chris is saying, do you think the Emmys should have a rule that no show should be allowed to have more than 2 nominees per category? I'm tired of 1 or 2 shows dominating all the categories. Well, I think that it's not possible. I totally understand what you mean. And it is funny, we've been at different events over the years, and it's like, so when we were at the sci-fi, their own awards,
Saturn Awards.
And I forget what show it was that won, but they won because Abbott Elementary was not in their category because it's not science fiction. And they said, finally, we win because we're not with Abbott Elementary. And as funny as it is, it's true. There was when Marvelous Miss Maisel was on, when they had a new season, everybody knew they were going to win everything. Similarly with Handmaid's Tale, for quite a while, they knew that if Handmaid's Tale was nominated, they were going to win everything.
Decades ago, this is ancient history. Decades ago, Entertainment Tonight, in its earliest years, was nominated for an Emmy, Best Informational Program, in the same category as Ken Burns' The Civil War. So we just thought that was hilarious that we would, even be considered alongside a Ken Burns project. That's the one that made his reputation. So
funny.
Yeah.
At least Ken also has a really good sense of humor.
Yes.
At least that's also the case.
Yes.
You mentioned George Lucas and the late Robert Redford last week. I guess they would qualify as not being great talkers. If with them, it just depends on who they're talking to, because that's the other thing. And this is what I'll say with my dad is, because you've had relationships with a number of people for so many years, you will get a better interview than some might, because they actually want to talk to you.
They're both good talkers.
Mm-hmm. They just didn't talk to each other. Yeah, they just didn't speak to each other.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think that it's things like when you interviewed Clint Eastwood, and you've interviewed him a lot, but like in Santa Barbara, when it was the long one, you've interviewed him God knows how many times at this point. You've seen him at so many things. Clint really likes my dad. So he got a better interview than somebody else might have, because Clint wants to talk to him versus sort of having to talk and having to sit there and have a conversation that you may not feel like having. But yeah, there you go. Doug says years ago, Paul Simon won a Grammy for Album of the Year. And in his acceptance speech, he thanked Stevie Wonder for not releasing an album that year. But that's the thing. It's tricky. A few of you are bringing up Warren Beatty, in part because of his experience with them filming for Dick Tracy, which the stories. But in general, no, he's a good person to talk to because he has a million stories.
Yes, he has.
You just have to rein him in.
He's a good raconteur.
Yeah, you just have to kind of rein him in sometimes because he'll go off. But he's fascinating. God knows he's met everyone and done so much and lived one hell of a life.
Yes.
I
can't quite believe that this is the end of September, and October 1st comes on Wednesday.
Yeah.
This week. But that makes it the publication date for my newest book, which is called Every Movie's a Miracle. And it's a book of conversation between me and an old friend named Nat Segaloff, who's also a very prolific writer. There's a new book out on John Huston and Humphrey Bogart. And it's just us discussing my life and career.
He came over, I don't know how many, a dozen times or something, and they just talked. They talked and talked and talked.
And then he did the heavy lifting. He did not only got them transcribed, but organized.
And there's some great pictures, and it's a lovely book. It turned out so well. These are really good pictures. I'm sorry they're black and white, but they're fun. So this is something you can own. This is something you'll be able to own in the not too distant future, should you wish. But It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun for you guys. Because it's just two friends talking,
Mm-hmm.
you know? What could be better?
There it is.
Yeah.
Also available in hardcover
Yeah.
if you're an old-fashioned sort of person who likes
Yeah.
hardcover books. I don't want to. The past couple of shows we haven't done collectibles, so I want to make up for that just a little bit. We can still
Hang
talk
on.
about other stuff.
Kevin says, Leonard, what about your interviews with Pinky Lee and Soupy Sales? What was it like to talk to them on Entertainment Tonight?
Pinky Lee, when I was 4 years old, I thought the sun rose and set on Pinky Lee. And when I found out that he was still alive and well here in LA, I have to make this a shorter story. He turned out to be very hyper.
Mm-hmm.
Worried about. He'd say, "All right, here's my remote. I'm going to put it down over here. Wait a minute, where's the remote? Did you take the remote? Is the remote still here? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay." That's how it was with going through his surviving tapes of the kinescopes of his show.
Lord.
And at the end of the interview, he still had his checkered hat. At the end of the interview, I said, Pinky, would you look right to camera and do your sign off? And he did. And as he did, the years melted away. And I saw what it was I fell in love with when I was a kid. It was a magical moment for me.
Yeah.
And so that was great. Soupy I met on a number of occasions, and he was just a delightful, funny guy. And I was a huge fan always. And so when I think of him, I smile.
Which is a lovely thing.
Yeah.
And the other.
Who's the other?
Pinky Lee and Soupy Sales?
Yeah.
Did you do both? Sorry.
Yes.
Brain.
Yes.
I made the mistake of trying to read your questions at the same time, and I cannot do both. Matt Burns, so we asked what you guys have been watching lately. And Jason says he's been watching The Studio and Platonic based on your recommendations, and he loves them both. So that's always a good thing.
They're both really good.
Jim says he enjoyed Eleanor the Great.
I haven't seen that yet.
June Squibb, there's never a bad time.
I worked with June Squibb.
You did.
I can claim
Yep.
that I worked with June Squibb.
Yep.
Because I appear in an episode that never aired,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it aired somewhere.
Maybe.
That our friend,
The fastest explanation
Robert,
is that Robert Smigel asked my dad to be a part of a couple of different projects over the years, and some of his stuff makes it out into the world, and some of it doesn't. And
this
so
was
he
the
got
Jack
to work
and
with June
Triumph
Squibb.
show with Jack McBrayer, who's now doing that Zillow show on
Yeah.
HGTV.
Yeah.
And he developed a sitcom for the USA Network, and it was set up that Jack and Triumph,
It's not worth all the.
There was a poker game in every episode, and that's where he would have celebrity guests,
Friends come in.
sit in, and I was
One of those people.
one of those people. And June was sort of the den mother.
Yeah.
On the show, and I got to chat with her. There was a lot of downtime, and ask her about working with Ethel Merman and Gypsy and all that. And she was happy to talk. So I worked with June Squibb,
Ah,
and I do want to see her in this movie.
Yeah, of course.
That Scarlett Johansson has made.
of course. Do you have any interest in seeing The Lost Bus? A few of you have brought up that film.
Yes, sort of. I
Yeah.
have an approach avoidance because I know it's upsetting.
Yeah.
And,
The world is too depressing to watch depressing things sometimes.
Yeah.
You just need The Summer I Turned Pretty. You just
Yeah.
need something that's
Yeah.
fluffy. It helps immensely. Matt says, just finishing Al Pacino's memoir, wasn't super overwhelmed. Is there a Hollywood memoir you wanted to read, but one that left you a bit wanting?
Well, I was impressed with Al Pacino's book. Actually, we disagree. We have to agree to disagree. I thought it was a very impressive book. Very, very candid and very not self-effacing. He knows who he is and he knows what he's done. but his realization that he might have gone in a different direction, his life might have taken a different turn, had not his mother kept an eye on what he was doing as an adolescent. Because he says most of his boyhood pals wound up dead,
Yeah.
or seriously damaged because they were, playing with fire.
Yeah.
Not literally, but figuratively.
No. He's I think the thing that's most surprising with him is that he doesn't come across. He has an ego because everyone has an ego, but he definitely, I don't think, leads with it.
No.
And if you didn't know who he was and you just had a conversation with him, you would have a really nice conversation with him, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been very kind to you.
Yes.
And he's been very kind to me. And I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful to have had some really nice experiences with him. So I'll take it. Jonathan's asking, what's the worst movie you've ever seen? Arthur says that his guess is either Dondi, Earth Girls Are Easy, or Transylvania 65000.
Those are all good candidates.
But no.
Maximum Overdrive, written and directed by Stephen King. Stephen King said he was tired of people buying the rights to his short stories and novels and then ruining them in their film adaptations. So on this one, he directed it himself, and he has no one to pass the blame onto.
The other one that I will always bring up is Spun, which you and I saw together. It's a more recent, I say recent, it's got to be, I don't even know, 15 something years old. Let's see. We saw that together in a screening where it was just the two of us. And I'm glad it was just the two of us because we just kept looking at each other going, is this real life? 2002, this particular film. It's Jonas Ackerlund. It's got Jason Schwartzman, John Leguizamo, Patrick Fugit, Brittany Murphy, Mickey Rourke, Mina Suvari, all kinds of people that we were very excited to see. And then the movie is a horrific nightmare. And it's just absolutely awful in every possible way. Had not a single redeeming quality. And since then, Craig, the interwebs says 2002, but I'll give you 2003 if you want. It's terrible. I almost want to watch it again to see if it's as bad as it was then. But then I also don't because I value my life. So yeah, I think that's the worst. You have a whole heap of tiny things today.
Well, I'm thinking about collector cards.
Yeah.
And there are so many.
Just teeny tiny little one.
There's so many different sets of collector cards. A lot of them were enclosed with the tobacco.
Yeah, this one was cut out of something. Because it says these coupons have no in Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Nevada, and then it's all cut off. But
I didn't remember these at all. I came upon them today.
I like this one.
That's a nice one. Yeah.
This says Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. Funny, but Mickey Mouse is in quotes.
Mm-hmm.
His name isn't, but Mickey Mouse is in quotes, and it says Wills's WILLS Wills's cigarettes. On the back, it says Wills for Quality, Cinema Stars, Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. And then it has a little bit of writing on it. Look, it's this guy.
These are very slim.
They're tiny
cards, but they fit into, you could slide them into and out of a cigarette package.
Here's your girlfriend, Thelma Todd.
Mm-hmm. The most famous of these was Players cigarettes. And we have on our wall that you could get a little booklet and paste them all in the booklet and try to collect all of them.
Here's another Thelma.
But
here's Jean Harlow.
This is showing it to both cameras here. It says one of a series of 80 pictures from the famous film play Molly O, starring Mabel Normand.
Mm-hmm.
Distributed with candy products only by the Shotwell Manufacturing Company, Chicago and Brooklyn. Handsome
album.
to hold entire series done in black and gold for 16 cents in stamps. If you send them 16 cents, they'll send you an album where you can display all 80 images from Mabel Norman's famous picture from 1921.
Here's Myrna Loy. Nick is saying, didn't Walt refuse to allow Mickey on any tobacco products? I guess technically because it was inside of the tobacco product. Maybe that's the way around that one.
Some of them came with gum.
There you go. Ronald Coleman and Joan Bennett. And these all have writing on the back, by the way. They've all got whole little bits on the back of them to tell you more. Oh my God, now. Charles Butterworth and Una Merkel. They let a person keep the name Una Merkel for all the stuff they've changed. They kept Una Merkel.
I met her.
I bet you did. Una Merkel. That's a name.
I've only seen one of these cards. So it's obviously part of a series called Autographs. And it's a playing card size.
Yep. And
here's the one for Jack Benny. So that's something now I'm aware of and alert to, and I'm going to be looking for. These are part of these of Richard Dix.
They say Movieland Kino on the back.
Johnny Mac Brown, former football hero turned Hollywood leading man. And George O'Brien, star of Sunrise and the Iron Horse. So these were part of a board game called Movieland Kino. This is actually a stamp.
That's a big stamp.
It's a big stamp, but it's a big picture. Union Pacific by Cecil B. DeMille.
It doesn't say. Do you mean stamp?
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything on it about a stamp.
I know.
That's intriguing.
Here's a tiny stamp.
Tiny stamp.
Tiny stamp.
Or just a regular stamp is the
Yeah.
size. It says Trader Horn, Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
That's the only one of that series that I have found. So there's always things to look for.
Yeah. That's the motto of this household. There's always things to look for. Hang on, this is a fun one too. Mandalay. Shots from famous films. Mandalay. Kay Francis and Lyle Talbot.
You know them, you love them. Here they are together. This is a pass for a studio tour at Paramount. And that building still stands on the Paramount lot on Melrose Avenue. And then there are card games, which we'll do another whole segment on sometime.
My dad really likes games, like tie-in games, things like this.
Tom Mix's game, Wildcat. And collector cards. These are now, how old? 40 years?
80 odd, yeah.
Yeah. I told Joe Dante after shooting my cameo for Gremlins 2 that my bid for immortality was not so much being in his film, but being on 2 Topps gum cards and being discussed on a 3rd. I'm not pictured here. Just after they have.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, he's not pictured in this one, guys. In case you were confused and thought one of these was Leonard, it isn't.
But I'm in the synopsis, right?
Let's see. After destroying Leonard Maltin,
Yes,
the
there are.
gremlins laugh maniacally and think of all the critically roasted movies they are avenging. Hilarious. Hilarious. Speaking of which, is Paramount Studios taking over Warner Brothers? I don't know, Arthur. I don't know what's happening. I don't like it, is that much I've got. I don't like any of this. Everybody's not meant to be owned by one person. There are supposed to be laws against this. You're not allowed to have a monopoly. Someone please tell me how this is allowed. I hope not. I don't know.
That kind of consolidation,
not good.
And it doesn't. Why do they need?
No, there's no logic. Power, obviously, but no, I don't know why you would do that. It's just not a good idea. Not a good idea, I don't think.
And this is not financial advice. It's just
right.
a couple of people,
No,
shooting the breeze.
as a consumer, it's bad enough. I still think it will never not be funny that HBO Max has changed its name 15 times.
Yeah.
And it's like, and even then it's Max now. Just kidding, it's HBO Max again. No, we're changing it to Max, which is a name that makes absolutely no sense to anyone. No, we're changing it. It's going to be Max now. 5 seconds later. Just kidding. We've gone back to HBO Max.
Yeah, there's that.
I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know why they feel the need. I don't understand. I think the hardest thing is that because different studios are known for different things.
Yeah.
Different people have different skill sets. And, it's like instead of maybe supporting that, you're combining everything and then you're firing a ton of people, and it just doesn't, I don't think it ends well. Again, just as the consumer, I don't think it makes sense. When and where can they buy your new book?
Where online? It's supposedly being distributed to bookstores as well.
Okay.
And
but is it just so? Is there a website, or because I don't know either? Is there a website for it?
You can go to Jeff Bezos's.
Thank you for Amazon.
Or you can go to BarnesandNoble.com.
Okay. So where books live.
Or you can go to a favorite bookstore if they
ask them to order it for you.
Right. Ask for it by name.
Ask for it by name. Let's see. If I Google it and it comes up, bless AI, it tells us, let's see. It says expected October 2025. And then you get Sticking Place Books, and Amazon comes up, and other things and stuff. But you can search for it and it will appear to you. And we'll post about it when it's available as well. We'll post about it on his website and things like that.
Wednesday.
So you'll be able to find it. So it's October 1st.
Yeah.
There you go. October 1st is the answer. I have a hunch those name changes at HBO's name might have been a way to ditch contracts, but I have no idea. No, I actually know so. that isn't it. It really was them just going, I have an idea. And then them going, this is dumb. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's just ever so much dumb. Favorite Laurel and Hardy short with James Finlayson.
Big Business.
There you go.
Which will be on the forthcoming volume 3 of Laurel and Hardy Restored Silent Shorts. I wrote a little essay for that, for the booklet that goes with it. And I'm not sure when it's coming out, but it's coming out this year.
There you go. Amazing. Always so good to be with you guys. We will be here next Sunday. Hope you will join us. Please take good care of yourselves. I know the world's on fire. Try to take some deep breaths.
That's one of the reasons that I enjoyed One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
I think it's saying,
in
essence, the world has gone nuts.
Yeah.
And sort of laughing at it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do. You can scream.
Yeah.
Or put your head into a very deep whole like an ostrich,
Yeah.
or you can say, well, we have to accept that we live in the theater of the absurd.
Yeah.
That's all.
The world's on fire. So, yeah, do your best, find happy things, take deep breaths. I know it's impossibly hard, but we will be thinking of you, and we'll see you next week.
And be kind.
Most importantly.